Gianna, thanks. STCC celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month earlier today. The college held part of their We the Women Speaker Series just this afternoon. That series celebrates achievements by female leaders. Today's guest speaker was self-published author Madalis Vera. Throughout her life, Vera has faced several hardships. She was raised by a Puerto Rican mom with only limited English knowledge. And now she aspires to help people in the community overcome various challenges.
My business hopefully one day will evolve into a space where other women, Latina writers have a voice and have a space to sort of come together and just have a safe space to start that journey of writing.
If you'd like to learn more about future events at STCC celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, just head over to our website, westernmassnews.com.